Good morning. Extreme heat across southeastern parts of Australia is causing major concerns for fire crews and bringing some health risks as well. We've had a hot air mass that's been lingering across Western Australia. We've already seen some devastating effects in terms of fires as a result of these hot conditions. A trough that has been lingering down the west coast has moved a little further eastward, so that's actually allowed for cooler winds to stretch across western parts of WA. That means we've got cooler temperatures across Perth, and conditions in terms of fire danger has been easing as a result. Although anywhere east of that trough, it is still extremely hot and very dry. Meanwhile, we're seeing that heat not only being pushed further eastward, but thanks to a high pressure system that sits just east of Victoria and New South Wales, it's actually drawing down northerly winds across eastern and central parts of Australia thanks to the direction of those winds. Now further north, we've got our monsoon trough, which has edged a little closer into Australian waters. And we can see that dash line here, particularly across the Arufha Sea and through the Torres Strait. So that is causing some heavy rain and thunderstorms. There is a weak tropical low sitting just to the north of the NT, with a moderate chance of this turning into a cyclone in the next 48 hours. Across Queensland, as a result of the monsoon trough, we're seeing an increase in rain and thunderstorms across far northern areas and the North Tropical Coast as well. Elsewhere down the east coast, we're seeing just isolated showers, mainly near coastal areas, but just slightly inland as well. In the far west, we could see some very isolated thunderstorms here. For Longreach, we'll get to a max of 38 degrees. Bundaberg, we're looking at a top of 30 degrees and partly cloudy today. Now in New South Wales, it is pretty much a dry day, but the far northern coast, or I should say the northern half of the coast, could see the chance of just some very isolated showers. Temperatures are on the rise through the west, and that will be the trend right throughout this week. Broken Hill set to hit 41 degrees, but thanks to sea breezes along the coast, much more comfortable here. For Newcastle, we'll get to a max of 24 today. Across Victoria, the heat is building, and this will be a big area of concern over the next 5 or 6 days, particularly across northern parts of Victoria today. Horsham, 40 degrees. Cooler near the coast with a top of 28 degrees, but we are going to see temperatures exceeding 40 degrees even across the CBD. For Tasmania, well, it's certainly slightly cooler here, but just in comparison to what the temperatures we normally see across Tasmania, this week is still going to be quite hot. We'll get to 28 degrees for Launceston, and it is remaining dry today. South Australia, it's very dry here and very hot as well. 42 degrees for Roxby Downs. Keith seeing a max of 41 degrees, slightly cooler near our coastal areas, but we're going to see as much as 5 days worth of temperatures above 40 degrees for many areas across South Australia. For WA, we are looking at dry conditions mainly down the west coast. The south coast could see a couple of light showers, but just some very isolated thunderstorms across northern and central areas today. For the Northern Territory, it's across the top end in the Gulf country. We're seeing showers and thunderstorms, of course, thanks to the increase in that monsoon trough. Let's have a look at what's ahead for our capital cities over the next week. For Brisbane, we've got maxes of 30 degrees. Although it is dry today, tomorrow and on Wednesday, we could just see some isolated showers throughout the day. For Sydney, across the CBD and near the coast, we'll be feeling quite comfortable, warm, but certainly not as hot as what it will be in our west. For Penrith, we'll see temperatures getting up to 37 and even 39 degrees later this week. Canberra, a hot one here, 37 degrees tomorrow, followed by temps of 39. It will be an official heat wave for Canberra, and that will certainly be the case for Melbourne when we reach 41 degrees tomorrow, and on Thursday. It won't be until the weekend we finally see some cooler conditions. For Hobart, 32 degrees tomorrow, so another warm one here, looking quite dry for the next few days as well. Adelaide, we have major health risks in place as a result of the tops of 43 degrees. 5 days of temperatures above 40 is what we can expect, while for Perth, those temperatures stay quite moderate until Saturday. They'll heat right back up. Hermione?